Oh, look, what is that? It's a kite or something. It's
Whereabouts?
going really fast. Well, you can hardly see it. Yeah.
What, in the distance?
Yeah. It was going really fast.
I can see something disappearing.
Oh, it's just disappearing now. Over them trees. Over here.
That's the problem, isn't it? You see something and you go, that looks exciting, but it's just gone.
Yeah.
It
looked
like there's buzzard
yeah.
up there. Look, there's 2 buzzards up there, wheeling. See them?
Oh, yeah.
I remember not too long, it's got to be, I would say, 10 years ago, I saw a buzzard and I was excited, thinking, no, that's brilliant. Look. And now it's kind of turn a penny.
Yeah.
You get blasé.
Yeah.
But I still love looking at them.
They say they kind of, with red kites, they're a bit more aggressive buzzards, aren't they, than red kites are, apparently.
Red kites are they're very bold, aren't they? They'll land in the, yeah, well, they'll land. I was driving somewhere not far from here, I think, last year, and one landed right in the road, right in front of my car, and then picked something up and just flew off.
Yeah.
Sort of like looked at me like,
yeah.
nodded like, oh, yeah, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
I'm in charge here.
I'm Sean Bean, and this is Get Birding in collaboration with Forest Holidays.
It's like a drug. I feel really good.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm bird watching, it's like it's a calmness, but it's also an excitedness as well.
Yeah.
In this episode, we're exploring bird migration.
Do they just fly off?
Well, yeah, they just
they've
lay
laid
their
their
egg with
egg
the
and
other
they don't have to
birds,
do
then they
anything.
just leave. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what they do.
I don't know, they're just
Feed and-
relaxing.
Yeah.
And welcoming the first day of spring.
It feels like this relief almost of like, oh, that was what was missing. And, you know, when you realise that you're part of that, not apart from it, you kind of got a bit of a wider sense of community. Community is not just about people, community is about your whole landscape.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, what was that?
Don't know.
What you do?
No, but I just caught it out of me one good ear, and it sounded a bit like some sort of goose.
It did, didn't it? Yeah.
Jim Moir is an artist and comedian.
I can hear wrens, quite a few wrens about.
They're like loud, aren't they?
Yeah. The volume of a wren is quite incredible. If you could actually sing at the volume of a wren, it'd be like a foghorn.
I would, wouldn't it?
It is. Do you know what's incredible about birds? Why do we like birds? What makes people interested in birds? And I think one of the things is that they're like superheroes, aren't they? They're totally different to us. They've got like superpowered eyesight. You know, if you could look over there and see a rabbit on that distant hill over there, a mile or so away, you can't get a grip on it, you can't understand it.
They've got brilliant vision.
Yeah.
They can pick up colours that we never recognise.
Yeah.
You know? But I didn't realise they had such fantastic vision for colours as well as long-sighted stuff, you know.
Long-sighted and seeing in the dark.
Yeah.
And singing like a foghorn.
Yeah, little wren.
Bullfinch over there. Well, I was chiffchaff, but I thought it might have been a blackcap, but it was a chiffchaff on closer inspection.
Yeah. Used to be a pub at Camden Town, blackcap.
The old mother blackcap.
Mother blackcap, yeah. Mornington Crescent round here.
Yeah.
Right.
That was nothing to do with the bird, the blackcap. I think she was some sort of murderer.
Was she?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard a green woodpecker over there.
Oh, yeah.
Pecking around on the grass.
You can hear it now
That's what they're
again.
like,
Yeah. You've noticed that.
What you've got here is virtually every garden bird in great store. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's everything in all the time. It's great here, actually, because there's constant movement.
Yeah.
And quite often you're out and you don't see, and you're like struggling to see anything, but it's all going on here.
Yeah, it is. You just have to sit there for a bit, don't you? But so, when did you get interested, Jim? Were you very young when you?
Well, when I suppose I'm about the same age as you, Hana.
Yeah.
And so in the 60s, there wasn't any laptops or phones or anything like that. We were just out we lived near the edge of town, so in Darlington, so I used to go out out in the fields. So my mates were either playing football or looking at birds, and I was on the bird watching side. A lot of kids at our age then were bird watching, and there was a bloke who lived opposite us, and he used to have crows that used to get the birds from. I don't think he took them out of the nests. I think he just sort of like saved them. But he had crows and magpies and things in his garage.
Yeah, I did.
And he was a mod, and he had a scooter with like Easy Rider forks on the front.
Yeah.
And he used to go up and down our road showing off on his
Yeah.
bike with a crow on his shoulder. He had a kestrel as well, but he had this crow on his shoulder at this time. And the fork snapped and the crow flew off and was never seen again.
Really?
But I remember that. So here he comes, look, and it just snapped in half and the crow
It
flew
just
off.
flew off, yeah.
But that was a kind of scene that you would have seen
Yeah.
around you know,
your,
when I was a
around
kid.
your way.
I was out yesterday because near us where we live, we've got a lot of it's estuary and marshland.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
And
yeah.
I was out at Conyers Creek yesterday in Kent, and there was thousands of godwits, Brent geese, red shanks, green shanks,
Yeah.
and I love that. It's a completely different landscape to here. It's just flat and
Yeah,
marshy, but I
yeah.
don't know what I like best. I
You
mean,
like- yeah. Godwit, you were a king, weren't you, or something? Right? King Godwit.
yeah, I think he was.
And
It wasn't Godwit. It was
Longshanks sounds
God-
a bit familiar as well. Something, not red shanks, not long shanks.
Well, yeah.
No long shanks.
Yeah.
Here.
You're good to go
You're-
bird watching,
you're a man-
aren't you?
you're a
Is
man with
is that a
really
bird?
long
No, it's a
legs.
pub. Is that? What's that? Is that a bird? No,
Used to
it's
be a
an
pub
old
call,
king.
King with really long legs.
Yeah, that's what he was. The long
yeah,
shanks, wasn't
it's
he?
true,
And then
it's
if
true.
you
I
look
don't
at a
know.
red shank, it's got red legs.
Yeah.
And a green shank's got green
Yeah,
legs.
yeah.
And you'll find that with a lot of birds. Like there's a red pole,
Oh yeah.
which
yeah,
has got a red
Yeah.
pole, is the old English
Yeah.
for the top of your
Nice,
hat, your
yeah.
head.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
red and start is the back. So you've got a red start.
That's yeah.
It's got a
black
red.
start.
You've got wheat ear. Do you know what the old English for wheat ear was? White arse.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you said white arse in old English, and then it got developed into wheat ear. Nothing to do with wheat or ears.
Or ears? No. White arse.
White arse, yeah. There's something flying around over there that has got an erratic. Do you know what I mean when I say jizz?
Yeah.
That's.
I
But
think
you're laughing at that. You know? It's,
you would do, wouldn't you?
but a jizz is the way that a bird acts.
Yeah.
It's the way that it flies.
Yeah.
Is its jizz, and you can tell
Yeah.
what it is.
Jizzing.
So if I saw a bird over there with an unusual jizz, that's what drew me attention to it. You can keep laughing, but it's
Is that,
It's
is
the
that your
truth.
word? Or is it,
no,
is
it's
it,
the real
like-
thing. Look,
Oh,
you
it's
have a look in
English.
you Google it. You look in the Birdwatcher's almanac,
Yeah.
if there is such a thing, and it'll say, and if it's jizz is what is telling what a bird is by the way it moves.
Yeah. Right.
This is the time of year when the skies start to fill with travellers.
It was really foggy this morning. It's not too bad now.
I know, it feels like spring's finally coming.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, which I mean, like for me, migration's like probably the most exciting time of year because there's just so much new stuff coming.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible.
Birds are on the move, crossing countries, seas, and sometimes entire continents.
Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to coming back?
I mean, I always like swallows and house martins and stuff, but that's quite late on, isn't it?
They are, yeah.
Yeah. You always think they come back earlier than they do.
No, I mean, at the moment we've got like chiffchaffs and stuff like that should have already started. I think I might have seen one in your garden actually before I saw you, which is nice because that's quite early.
But they seem to be here all year round, you know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, siskins. You get. I've never seen a siskin before till the other week.
Oh, really? where'd you see it?
Yeah, at the bird table.
Oh, you saw it in your garden?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
Dr Mya-Rose Craig is an ornithologist, environmentalist and diversity activist.
I feel like cuckoos, actually. Like, they used to be such a sign of spring, and I feel like we just don't really talk about them in the same way anymore. But for me, I really associate them with like that early May spring migration.
Yeah.
Very excited to see one of them.
Did you hear them much these days, cuckoos?
Very rarely. I didn't see one till I was about 7 as well, which, like, considering how much bird watching I was doing as a kid. Yeah, they're weirdly hard to see, but some.
I heard them. This was about 10 years ago around here. Just once, and that were it.
Yeah. I guess if they're not looking after their own nest, they're probably not hanging around in the same way.
What do they do? They just fly off.
Well, yeah, they just lay their egg with the other birds, and then they just leave.
Yeah. What do they do?
I don't know, they're just relaxing.
There's no other bird does that, is there? Really?
No, and it's like, actually,
just nothing to do with it.
They're all just kind of.
It's like giving your kids to a full-time nanny, isn't it? Just going on holiday.
But it's I forget though that sometimes that birds also migrate to the UK for the winter as well. So, like, you know, all the ducks and geese that come down from the Arctic to this is like the warm place that they spend the winter. And I feel like that's one of the signs of spring migration that people don't talk about as much, is when all the geese and the ducks start gathering and leaving. Then that's when you go like, oh, this is when, you know, the cuckoos, chiffchaff, swallows, whatever, are going to start arriving. Like, I like that we've got a bit of give and take going on, you know.
So do the geese or those from the Arctic, do they go back when the weather gets warmer here?
They're breeding up on the Arctic tundra.
They don't breed here, they just...
No, they come basically to lots of our fields, and they're just eating kind of grass seed and stuff like that over winter, and they'll be like just like thousands and thousands of them, crazy numbers, and then they go back to the Arctic. It's very fun.
Isn't it? So there's always something happening. There's always, if they're leaving, another lot's coming in.
Migration reminds us just how connected the natural world really is. What happens in one place can affect birds thousands of miles away. For many species, the journey is long and uncertain.
I mean, we're living in a tricky time where bird migration is changing, and it's changing rapidly. So I think we have to be quite flexible in what we knew to be true, because our climate is changing. I mean, birds are reliant upon change of day length and sunlight to have this hormonal cue to know when it's time to breed, to know when it's time to move and go to your breeding grounds. We're seeing massive shifts in all kinds of environmental cues all the time, some that we pick up on, and I imagine most that we can't and we don't pick up on, that these small, you know, beautiful feathered friends are kind of subjected to all the time.
Megan McCubbin is a zoologist and conservationist.
So things are bound to shift, and it's important that we keep an eye on that and we watch how things are moving and fluctuating so that we're better able to conserve them in the areas that happens in. I mean, climate change is here. It's not next door. It's not in the global south. It is all over the place, and we're all experiencing the pinch in different ways, and it's only ever going to increase here in the UK. We have to kind of accept that these changes are going to happen, really keep an eye on it, and, you know, support the wildlife that does show up, and, you know, give space for the ones that stay a little bit longer. We all are active beings on this planet. We all have an impact, and every day we get to decide what impact that can be. And I have said on, you know, shows like Springwatch and Animal Park and everything, you know, what we can do to help wildlife in our gardens. You know, you can feed the birds or not feed the birds. You know, if you notice one that is quite unwell, clean your bird feeders, put in a hedgehog highway, put in plants that will flower at different times of the year to provide food for different animals. All of these things. And quite frankly, like I've said it a million times before, I'll say it a million times again, but that isn't the most important thing you can do for wildlife. Yes, please do make your gardens as good as possible. I'm not saying don't do it. But what I am saying is the best thing you can possibly do is to use your voice.
There are so many people that love wildlife, whether it's birds or plants or bugs or anything else. We absolutely love it, and it brings us so much joy. But juxtaposed with that, we live in a time right now where we're seeing nature's loss on a massive scale. We're living through a biodiversity crisis. And so we have these really kind of opposite sets of emotions within us. We have all of this joy and love and adoration of this amazing thing that gives us fascination, and yet we're witnessing its loss.
Lucy Lapwing is a naturalist and the author of Love is a Toad, exploring our relationship with nature. She's joining us again on her patch in Scotland.
I personally struggled to deal with these opposing emotions within myself. I didn't understand how you can go about carrying these really big emotions at the same time when you have one of those amazing nature days where everything in you is just fizzing and buzzing, and there's a little robin just come to watch me. Hello. And you just have these magical nature encounters, be it up close with a robin or bird watching, whatever, juxtaposed with just those days where you just want to scream and cry and lie on the floor and have a tantrum because the headlines are so bad, or you've seen your favourite local tree get cut down, or, you know, the verges near you have been sprayed with herbicide. It's this roller coaster of emotion, and I really wanted to kind of prod and poke at that because it kept coming up with lots of other people that I was talking to. I think the consistent thing is that everybody is feeling this kind of unease that things aren't quite right. People are really feeling this sense of loss, this sense of hopelessness comes up quite a lot. And it really is becoming apparent that the sector is dealing with grief, even if we've not learnt to name that yet. Even if we just look at bird life, you know, 92% decline in turtle doves since, I don't know, I think the 70s. I've seen, you know, species decline lots since I was a kid. I only saw my first nightingale when I was 30. These are all birds that should be very, very common in the UK, and they're not anymore. And they are kind of the canaries in the coal mine for showing us that there is a widespread loss and draining of nature going on in the landscape. And of course we're going to grieve that. Grief doesn't have to exist in this definition to do with our relationships with other humans. I believe it's very applicable to our relationship with the natural world. We're grieving the loss of a relationship, we're grieving the loss of a presence of other living things and their variety and abundance. The systems in which we've built, the ways that we operate, are very damaging at the moment, that's absolutely true. But there's examples from communities and groups all over the world that live in a much more reciprocal, harmonious relationship with nature, where there is that really deep connection with the natural world on a level that we've, you know, pretty much lost in the West. And you can see, you know, that's where our history lies. That's our entire backstory. That's how we got here, is that our species has a great relationship with nature. Otherwise, we wouldn't have survived. So I think that kind of belief has been lost quite a bit. And so, yeah, there's a lot of kind of healing and mending for us to do there in terms of that. But I think, yeah, if we can start with interrogating our own relationship with nature, you know, it's the beliefs that and the emotions that sit at the heart of our relationship with nature that then translate into actions, systems, behaviours that can or cannot cause harm to nature.
I mean, it's a really hard thing for some people to understand, is that what is going on around the world at the moment with the multiple wars is an environmental issue. It's a social justice issue, but social justice is very much part of environmentalism. You know, we're seeing it now in the Middle East, and it's got everything to do with oil, of course, and you know, it's a very complicated situation, which, you know, deserves a lot of time to read up and understand better. But these sort of issues and conflicts will only be on the rise, unfortunately. So we as a sector need to do better in using our voice for people, because people, as we've said, are part of nature. We need to stand up for the people that are really at the suffering end of this, as well as, you know, the environmental impact of war. I mean, the mining it takes to produce a bomb, what it takes when it goes off, the lasting impact on nature and the environment when that happens. You know, so we need to be talking about these things all together as a round issue, because it is a round issue.
It's always a joy to find a nest, and here's a beautiful example of a blackbird nest. I mean, exquisite, using mosses and mud and strands of grass.
Now we're heading over to one of the forest holiday ranges to see what's happening on their patch.
And then here, I think this could be a little chaffinch nest. Beautiful, made with moss. And then inside there, look, little tiny hairs from a deer. Makes me want to crawl inside it. Hi, I'm Alison, one of the rangers at Blackwood Forest, working for Forest Holidays, and I'm standing in this beautiful ancient woodland of predominantly beech wood, and there's some bluebells over there just coming up. We've got blackbirds and robins, of course, and the song thrush, absolutely beautiful in the mornings. They're a little bit quieter in the afternoons. I think they have a siesta. We're in a beautiful beech forest here, and this tree obviously went down, it was processed and it popped back into its root ball, and they thought we'll leave it there for natural standing deadwood, and that is great for invertebrates. You can see you've got loads of holes where the invertebrates are burrowing in, and then birds will feed on those. And if you look further up, there's a hole which a woodpecker has made. Fantastic. Nice nesting site for Mr. Woodpecker.
You can hear the difference in song as well. You get like chiffchaffs doing that spring, the chiffchaff song.
Yeah.
Chiffchaff there.
Yeah. Great in the morning, isn't it?
The one I never got was a little bit of bread and some cheese. Do you know that one?
No.
That's supposed to be what a chaffinch says, but I can never work. It doesn't sound like it to me.
A bit of bread and some cheese.
But it didn't sound like it.
Never heard that.
Little bit of bread and some cheese.
Bread and some cheese.
Oh, mind a bit of bread and some cheese.
I wouldn't. Starving me.
It's the rhythm of the chiffchaff. Notice how I do that with my hand, because I'm mimicking the sound of a turntable of a record scratching.
Chiffchaffs are tiny birds, but once you've heard them, you start noticing them everywhere. Here to help us listen more closely is our resident birder, the composer and nature beatboxer, Jason Singh.
Interestingly enough, where I live, there's loads of birds, blackbirds and swans and magpies and wrens and a whole manner of things, and there's this one bird, and the rhythm of it just like stuck out, and identified it using my app, found out it was the chiffchaff, and it's, of all the birds that I hear around me, this is the one that reminds me of turntablism and DJ culture and scratching, and that is how I identify the rhythm of that bird and the musicality of that bird through this. So there is a technique called scratching in DJing where you put your hand on the record and you bring it backwards and forwards, and you can create rhythms and melodies. You literally push the record forward and then you pull the record back. So push and pull, push and pull. A lot of the time, I don't hear chiffchaff in the call of the chiffchaff. For me, you know, it's not called the chiffchaff, it's called the baby scratch. Recently, I have been in India, and birding in India is incredible. I was very lucky enough to stay on a farm just outside Delhi, and the range of birdsong was absolutely phenomenal. It actually reminded me of the book The Conference of the Birds by Farid-ud-Din Attar, and just the range of calls of like barbets and parakeets and peacocks and birds I couldn't even identify, like a whole range of songs, all kind of at different proximities, has been absolutely phenomenal. It was a treat actually to hear that amount of birdsong from morning all the way through the night, and seeing the habitats that the birds were in black kites nesting in trees, different birds, going up to mandarin tree, orange trees and interacting around there, and seeing the peacocks moving all the way through the gardens. And like all of that land is taken care of by people, but also like people sort of live in a way that they respect and feel part of nature. It's not something like that they own, but it's something that they are part of. And I guess for me, I don't understand how people can't see like that, that we are somehow separate from everything else that we are surrounded by and live in. It actually doesn't register in my brain of like, how can we look at a holistic system like the planet and see everything that operates and lives and dies and regenerates and transforms on it and say that we're separate from that?
Spending time outdoors is a way of changing how we see things. Once you notice what's there, it's hard not to want to protect it.
And right now, there's a chaffinch over there. Wait a minute. Oh, it's flying over this way. It's a coal tit over that way. So for me, the high of just connecting with nature, it feels like you're just this relief almost of like, oh, that was what was missing. And when you realise that you're part of that, not apart from it, you kind of got a wider sense of community. Community is not just about people. Community is about your whole landscape. So that's it. Like, it's as simple as that. It's the birds, it's the wildlife that I get to see every single day. When I feel the world gets too much, and it does a lot of the time, especially at the moment, it's really easy to feel paralysed with the state of the world, environmentally and socially. It's a heavy weight to bear. But to sit here and listen to these little birds, which are carrying on breeding, which are carrying on the cycle, which, have struggled massively. I mean, a lot of the spring migrants have travelled 5,000 miles all the way from sub-Saharan Africa, just to breed, and then they'll fly back again. That's impressive. And sometimes you have to remind yourself of what you're fighting for, and it's worth fighting for it. It really is. It is tiring and it is hard at times to keep on banging the same drum, asking people to act more for wildlife, and it's not happening fast enough. It's a hard thing, to do, but all you have to do is remind yourself, go and listen to your favourite bird, go to your local patch, see the flowers come into bloom, see the insects, see the birds. That is motivation enough.
Hope is the Thing with Feathers by Emily Dickinson. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never, in extremity, it asked a crumb of me. That's all for this episode. Thanks for coming along with us today, and I'll see you in a fortnight, birdies. If you love birdwatching, why not join the flock, our Get Birding Members Club? Enjoy exclusive content, latest birding news, ad-free episodes, and access to community chat rooms to share tips, spots, and more with birdies around the world. Go to our website, getbird.ing. Get Birding was produced by Hana Walker-Brown. The executive producer is Jane Gerber. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. This is a Get Birding production in collaboration with Forest Holidays.